If you feel wired but exhausted at the same time, it's probably not your age. You wake up tired, you need caffeine to function. You crash in the afternoon, you crave sugar at night. You with me there? You feel foggy by midday, and somewhere, somehow, when it's finally time to sleep, now your brain won't turn off. It just races all the time. That feeling has a name. It's called wired but tired. A lot of women in midlife just assume this is what getting older feels like. But I want to challenge that. Because most of the time, it's not your age. It's unstable energy. Let's talk about what that actually means. When your blood sugar swings all day, up and down, your stress hormones stay elevated. When stress hormones stay elevated, your body feels alert, but it also feels drained. You feel wired, but you're also exhausted. That's midlife fatigue. It's not that you don't have discipline. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you lost your drive. Your energy system isn't stable. And when your energy isn't stable, everything feels harder than it should. Most women try to fix this the wrong way. They just drink more coffee. Keep pouring that coffee in that cup. Who's been there? They eat less. They add in more cardio. They cut carbs out completely. They try to be more disciplined. But none of those things actually stabilize. They don't stabilize energy. They don't help you. In fact, some of them make it worse. More caffeine raises the stress hormones. Eating too little lowers your metabolic stability. Too much cardio without strength training in there can increase your cortisol, and also will make you start losing muscle. You'll lose more muscle if you have too much cortisol or too much cardio, not enough strength training, especially if you're not eating enough protein to go along with it. And then you're right back where you started. You're jittery in the morning, crashing by 3 o'clock, staring at that pantry in the middle in the night going, what do I need something. And you can't even find what you're needing. That's when it's sad. You're like, you're not satisfied. You cannot even be satisfied. So let's talk about that hunger piece a minute. This is where it all clicks. When your energy is unstable, your hunger gets loud. That's why you might feel fine in the morning, maybe even not hungry in the morning. Then by late afternoon, you're ravenous, you're starving to death, you're eating anything you can find. If you work somewhere, you probably open up the refrigerator and being like, oh gosh, I hope they don't care if I eat up there or whatever. Hey, do you want your leftovers? Anybody ever done that? Anybody ever felt like that? Just me? Or you might make it through the day and you're feeling, oh, I did so good today. I've been being good. Then at night, you want everything in the house. Anything that you can find, shovel into your mouth, anything sweet, anything salty. That's not a willpower problem. That's your body chasing stability. And I think we've all been there at some point. Your body is trying to regulate that energy the only way it knows how, and that's through food. You know how sometimes you're like you just want to grab food. You just want, because you're not satisfied. And no matter what you eat, you're still not satisfied. You're full, but you're still not satisfied. Have you ever noticed that? The issue isn't discipline, it's stability. Now here's something interesting. One of the most consistent pieces of feedback I've been seeing lately from women who are working on stabilizing their energy is this. They're just not hungry all day. Not white knuckling it. Not obsessing about snacks. Just steady. And when hunger steadies, your focus improves. Productivity improves, whether it's at your work or your business. Your mood improves. You stop snapping at the people you love. You stop living on caffeine. You stop that 3 o'clock. See, that's one reason you can't sleep at night, because you're like, oh my gosh, 3 o'clock. Or even these, okay, there's also this group of people. They're trying to fast as much as they possibly can because they're trying to eat as little as they can. So, man, they're just guzzling that black coffee, okay? Sometimes black coffee will help it, but now you're just piling that caffeine into your body. A little caffeine's good for you at the right time, but not all day. Not just black coffee, black coffee, black coffee so that you're not eating, because it's defeating the purpose. So if you do all that, you stop crashing so hard in the afternoon. That's what stable energy feels like. When energy is stable, midlife feels completely different. I came out here, there was not a car in sight. Probably a good 10 minutes. I was like, oh cool, there's not much traffic. I'll just go ahead and I'll knock my video out. Here we go. So here I'm giving you some tips. Number 1, start with protein in the morning, not just coffee. Put some protein shake in your coffee. You want that coffee in the morning? That's fine. Put some protein shake in there with it. Okay? Protein. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar. It supports muscle. Muscle is one of the most powerful tools that you have for improving your metabolic health in midlife. Actually, in any life, but especially in midlife. Number 2, get outside early. Okay? Catch that morning sun. I think they changed the time next week. Around here, it's going to be later coming up. So anyway, get that. Morning light helps to regulate. It helps to regulate your circadian rhythm. I hope I said that word right. I have a hard time with it. Tells your brain when to be awake and when to fall asleep, when to wind down later. And I must have mine dialed in pretty good because, well, I wake up before the sun, like 4 a.m. I get up. But man, when it starts getting dark at night, I start getting sleepy. Number 3, lift something heavy a few times a week. Doesn't have to be 2 hours at the gym 5 days a week. Matter of fact, that probably hinders you in midlife. But do some strength training. Grab you some dumbbells. If you don't have any dumbbells, grab you some cans, some bricks, some water bottles, whatever. Lift something heavy. A tire. You can flip a tire. Strength training isn't about looking a certain way. It's about preserving muscle, improving your insulin sensitivity, stabilizing your energy. And also what strength training does, it helps when you get older so that you can still get up out of chairs. So you can still get in and out of the truck. So that you don't need help going to the bathroom. You don't need help getting out of chairs. So plan now in your 40s and 50s and 60s for what you're going to be doing when you're 70s and 80s and 90s. If you hadn't already been doing it. But it's not too late. It's never too late to start. So, number 4. This is a biggie too. Hydrate before you caffeinate. The very first thing I do when I get out of the bed is I drink 12 ounces of water. And sometimes I add lemon juice. I try to remember to do this because it's actually really good for you. Put some hot water in there, a tablespoon of lemon juice, or a squeeze of lemon, whichever you want to do. I buy organic juice because I do not want to be squeezing lemons all the time and throwing all that stuff away. Anyway, I put a tablespoon of lemon in mine and some either sea salt or Himalayan salt, or alternate them. Put that in your water while it's warm. It also helps your liver. Get your digestion started for the day. Drink that first thing in the morning, okay? Dehydration makes your fatigue worse. So if you get up in the morning and you're already dehydrated when you get up. So then if you grab a cup of coffee as soon as you get up, caffeine dehydrates you even more. So you're just You're just snowballing a problem. And when you stack caffeine on top of dehydration, I just said this, but I'm going to say it again. You amplify the wired but tired cycle. And then the last thing, number 5, this is probably the most important one of all, walk. If you can't do anything else, walk. If you can't, say, hey, Tracy, I can't walk. I can't get up. All right, move your feet in your chair. Sit in your chair, move your feet just like this. Legs in, out, in, out, in, out. That helps you too, okay? You don't literally have to be up moving around. I don't have time. Yeah, everybody has time. You have some time. Take the time. I highly recommend doing at least 10,000 steps a day. I try to do at least 10,000 steps a day. I'm very, I make sure after every meal that I walk at least 10 minutes after every meal, okay? Daily movement, it improves your blood sugar control, reduces stress hormones, and supports your recovery. So if you worked out, then if you did some strength training, walk after you get finished strength training. Do some walking or ride the bicycle, but do some walking. It'll help. And then if you rotate, if you do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you do some strength training, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whenever you walk that Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, it's going to help that recovery from that strength training you did the day before. None of this is extreme. None of it requires starving yourself. None of it requires punishing workouts. Like I said a little bit earlier, a person thinks punishing workouts at our age can actually cause more problems than it fixes. But it does require consistency. And it requires understanding that midlife energy is actually trainable. If you're wired but tired in midlife, stop blaming age. Your body isn't broken. It's asking for stability. It's saying, I need you, I need something. And when you build that stability, you will build your energy. And when you build energy, everything else in your life gets easier. Your workouts get better. Your work gets better. Your job gets better. Your business gets better. Your patience improves. Your focus improves. Because energy is the foundation. So if you want to know what I'm personally testing right now to help stabilize appetite and focus in midlife, especially around that hunger and productivity connection, check the description or comment energy below. But start with the basics. Win your morning, win your day. That's my motto. If you do that, you'll start building your energy. And stop accepting exhaustion as normal. If you want to know what my actual miracle morning routine actually is, drop routine in the comments and I'll make sure you get a copy of it. So again, stop accepting exhaustion as normal, because it's not.